From the Cronkite studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
We go to the House Judiciary Committee hearing on birthright citizenship and the possibility of denying some people born in America automatic citizenship.
And expanding a port of entry into Mexico may be good for the border, but not the town's economy.
I wasn't able to touch him and say goodbye.
We'll take you to Yavapai County, where the families of the fallen Granite Mountain hotshots are pushing for a memorial to be built in their memory.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Maria Thompson.
And I'm Twila Nugent. Thanks for joining us.
It's called birthright citizenship. A baby born on U.S. soil is automatically an American. But today in Washington, that premise was up for debate again.
In a House Judiciary Committee hearing, some lawmakers recommended revoking the birthright of children born to undocumented parents. Cronkite News reporter Tara Gino is tracking the latest live in Washington.
That's right. Even before today's hearing, critics say it's racism masking a constitutional debate.
What's offensive is that this kind of rhetoric seeks to divide us as a country.
Democratic members of Congress and civil rights leaders are calling it the latest anti-immigration stunt as House Republicans held another hearing on ending birthright citizenship.
A child born to illegal aliens in the United States can initiate a chain of immigration when he reaches the age of 18, and he can sponsor an overseas spouse and unmarried children of his own. When he turns 21, he can also sponsor his parents and any brothers or sisters.
The United States and Canada are the only advanced economies in the world that grant automatic citizenship to children born in that territory.
This deliberation is not simply about the immigration issue. This is actually an attack on who we are as a country.
And it's another case of deja vu for Congressman Gallego, who says ending a fundamental right is for one purpose.
Basically feed the worst nature of the xenophobic wing of the Republican Party. I really believe it's a failure on the leadership of the Republican Party that they're even allowing this type of rhetoric to occur.
Congressman Gallego said these arguments brought him back to the dark days of Arizona when he had to fight off SB 1070, which included similar amendments that ostracized immigrants in our country. Reporting live from Washington, D.C., Tara Gino, Cronkite News.
Yesterday, it was same-sex marriage. Today, lethal injections. The Supreme Court heard arguments this morning on how states like Arizona should carry out executions. Cronkite News reporter Andrew Romanoff was at the court today with reactions. Andrew?
That's right. Attorneys argued over whether a drug used in Oklahoma's lethal injection cocktail actually does what it's supposed to do. And depending on what the court decides, other states that use the drug, like Arizona, could have to make some changes.
The drug is called midazolam.
Right now there are 5 states that have midazolam as part of the lethal injection protocol, and Arizona is one of those states.
Arizona and Oklahoma, 2 states where 2 botched executions took place last year. Witnesses said Joseph Wood and Clayton Lockett were convulsing and gasping for air. Midazolam is the first drug used in each state's lethal cocktail and is supposed to sedate the prisoner. But when it doesn't work,
it would feel like a horse was sitting on his chest.
And when the next drug, like
potassium chloride, went through his veins, it would feel like liquid fire.
Even the states agree that some other drugs work better, but drug companies aren't selling them because they don't want their products used in executions.
Pentobarbital, sodium thiopental have been used in the past. If we had access to those, we would use those drugs. We do not.
And since they do not, Oklahoma death row inmates sued the state, and that's how a case ended up here.
This drug formula is unconstitutional because the first drug will not prevent a prisoner from feeling the severe pain and suffering of the second and third drugs.
But the state still says it works well enough to be used in executions.
We believe that midazolam, though not preferred, though not the first choice, we believe that it passes 8th Amendment review without question.
So the Supreme Court heard oral arguments today, and we expect their final decision in the case before the end of June. Reporting from the Supreme Court, Andrew Romanov, Cronkite News.
The Mariposa Land Port of Entry, the busiest entry point for privately owned vehicles in Arizona, faced several construction changes in the last year. I traveled to the checkpoint and found that workers have noticed significant improvements in both speed and safety. pedestrian walkways, double the amount of inspection booths, all to help get more people through the Mariposa port of entry. I spoke with Juan Higuera, who crosses the border almost every day and says the added lanes have made the entire process faster.
Yes, I have noticed a change because there's more space for the trucks that will be returning.
This entry point supplies the most fresh produce from Mexico to the West Coast and went through 4 stages of reconstruction, beginning in 2009 and ending in August 2014.
We have seen an extra amount of flow of trailers coming in faster.
Despite the nearly $200 million project, Vasquez says there is a bigger issue with the city's infrastructure. While they may have expanded the border, there is still only one road that goes through most of the city and the freeway entrance.
Several accidents have happened already close to the border because of the same amount of volume of trucks.
So while the changes are good for the border itself, Vasquez says it has not helped the rest of the city.
Try to get to the freeway at 4:30 in the afternoon using this only entry to the freeway. Have fun.
In 2008, the University of Arizona drafted a bottleneck study to determine where to build new lanes. But so far, no action's been taken.
The city of Baltimore is striving to rebuild normalcy in the wake of riots following Freddie Gray's death. Days of rioting in the streets, lootings, and fires across the city resulted in more than 200 arrests. Baltimore Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake declared a citywide curfew for 1 week. Since it has taken effect, the violence in the city has reduced dramatically. Small posters are popping up in downtown Phoenix, and they're not very supportive of Phoenix police. Along Van Buren Avenue, signs that read "Welcome to Fear" with a photo of police cars have been plastered on lampposts. So far, no group has claimed credit for these signs. Cronkite News alerted the City of Phoenix Police Department, who were unaware this was happening. We spoke to a criminal lawyer who says it's within First Amendment rights to post signs.
Freedom of speech laws are pretty broad. You can't interfere and threaten to kill somebody. That's crossing the line. If you want to make a T-shirt and walk around downtown with that, that's fine.
The Phoenix Police Department provided this statement. The flyers will be treated like other damage that occurs in public places and will be removed when located. It is a violation of state law, criminal damage. In January, the president proposed making community college free, and now Representative Raul Grijalva wants to take that even further, making a 4-year college degree affordable for all.
This was President Barack Obama in January.
And that's why I'm sending this Congress a bold new plan to lower the cost of community college to zero.
Now Representative Raul Grijalva is pushing to make sure 4-year college is affordable too.
Higher education, particularly land-grant colleges that are public institutions like in Arizona, should be about guaranteeing that at the end of a completion of a degree, that student is relatively debt-free.
Grijalva and other Democrats are backing a resolution urging Congress to resolve the issue of student debt.
It's a call to members of Congress. If you really want to invest in this nation, that should be our goal, a debt-free education.
But that goal comes with a cost, says a critic at the Heritage Foundation.
People think the cost of college is high now. Wait until we see the federal government step in and further increase subsidies, loans, and grants. It will enable these universities to continue to increase cost and increase spending, and of course that just shifts the burden onto the taxpayer.
But Representative Grijalva thinks the investment is worth it.
This nation's sense of opportunity is being lost, and it's time that we invested. And I think the most important thing is education.
This resolution comes just a month after Governor Ducey announced a $100 million cut to public education. Reporting from Washington, D.C., Sierra Oshrin, Cronkite News.
The Arizona Teacher of the Year made a special visit to the White House today. As reporter Nihal Krishnan tells us, he was honored alongside 54 other top teachers from around the country.
With the West Wing in the backdrop, Westwood High School teacher John David Bowman said, "Arizona has a secret."
The state of Arizona is really lucky, and I think it's kind of almost a secret. We have amazing teachers, and I think more teachers need to be celebrated.
And celebrate teachers is exactly what President Obama did at the White House earlier today.
Today is our chance to say thank you, to let these educators know that we see how hard they work, We know the difference they make in their students' lives, and they are at the same time making an incredible difference in the life of our country.
Bowman, who is Arizona's Teacher of the Year, teaches AP US History and IB Theory of Knowledge. He hopes to use his award and publicity to raise the level of prestige of the teaching profession across Arizona.
So that's one of the things that I'm trying to do throughout this year and going forward, is taking this honor and then going out and trying to celebrate as many teachers as I can.
In the nation's capital, this is Nihal Krishan, Cronkite News.
The National Teacher of the Year award went to a teacher from Amarillo, Texas.
Cronkite News brings you access across Arizona.
With the second anniversary of the death of the 19 Granite Mountain hotshots coming up in June, the people of Prescott are finding a way to keep their legacy alive. Reporters Casey Brecker and Selena Bussey went up to Yavapai County and found out how state officials are planning to build a memorial for those hotshots who perished in the 2013 Yarnell fire.
19 families are missing loved ones. The pain hasn't lessened in the 2 years since the Yarnell Hill fire changed direction, trapping the men in an area where they could not escape. Friends and family in the community of Prescott are working to create a memorial for those men.
I can't think of a word that is horrific enough to say how I feel about what happened there.
The mother of the Granite Mountain fire hotshot, Andrew Ashcraft, describes how she felt the first time she hiked to the remote spot where her son and others were killed. The flames from the Yarnell Hill fire suddenly changed direction, trapping the men in the sloping mountainside. The site is located near Peoples Valley off State Route 89.
I wasn't able to touch him and say goodbye. I wasn't able to whisper in his ear, even if he wasn't there, "Love you." So to me, that's the spot that I can do that.
Fingston is pushing for a memorial to be built in the spot where the men lost their lives. Because of the remote location, there's no public access from the highway. Therefore, visitors can only get there on foot.
We're confident we're going to be able to gain access. Once that access is obtained, then we will be able to figure out the distance and everything else, and that will contribute to the type of a memorial we have.
With the land the state is hoping to obtain, the hike would be a tough 2 miles. To solve that problem, officials are looking into buying private land, which would make access to the memorial an easier hike for visitors, although it would cost more.
We set forward a really aggressive agenda to move this because literally it'll be 2 years since, on June 30th, since the tragic incident.
And while there have been challenges, Fingston says the board has proved to the community their commitment to this memorial.
It's the state that is saying thank you to them, and it is the citizens of the state that are saying, hey, what you did, we recognize as something honorable. And I love that. Just love that. That brings me to tears.
Fingston says for her, this isn't just a memorial. It's a place where she gets to be with her son.
It's a place where I can go and experience what Andrew saw and what Andrew felt. He was just wonderful. He was just really wonderful.
And she hopes the memorial will be simple and informational. That's what the hotshots would have wanted. In Prescott, Selena Bussey, Cronkite News.
I'm here in Prescott right now with Ruli Simmons, supervisor of Yavapai County and Memorial Board member. Hi.
Hello.
So exactly what have you guys, the last board meeting was on April 10th. What progress have you guys made so far?
We're working on, we're narrowing down to select a right-of-way and to gain right-of-way and access. Once we get that, then we're going to better be able to design the site. And so we've got the site committee working on that, and then we will have the design subcommittee working on the design.
Okay, and where do you expect the funding to come from on the memorial?
Totally donations. All of the state money that was dedicated was strictly to buy the state land, and everything else as far as the monument of whatever sort is going to be out of donations.
All right, thank you so much.
You bet.
Live in Prescott, Casey Brecker, Cronkite News.
Arizona is one of the top 5 states in the nation when it comes to hosting refugees. But what happens once they arrive from around the world? One organization in Tucson has a unique way of connecting the new residents. Reporter Mackenzie Scott has more on how the fruits and veggies in your backyard might be uniting refugees.
Almost 1,000 refugees migrated to Arizona this past year, coming from all walks of life and speaking different languages. Many are looking for a way to start over. Iskashita is an organization in Tucson that helps refugees adjust, and they do it through food. Picking fruit can be a hobby, but for some refugees, it's a start to their new life. Iskashita is a nonprofit organization that helps integrate refugees in Tucson through food programming.
I am very happy with Iskashita, and maybe minimum 2 times, 3 times weekly I go to harvest fruit.
Harvesting fruit and vegetables year-round is a chance for the Iskashita participants to connect with other refugees while adapting to American culture and learning the language.
Blood orange.
Blood?
Yeah. Because it's red.
Founder Barbara Eisworth says the organization makes the process of adapting to a new country easier.
Acclimation and acculturation are difficult without American friends and without a network. So our network provides them with volunteer and community service activities.
And for homeowners who have an abundance of fruit, it's a way to ensure it doesn't go to waste while also giving back.
When the van drove up and I saw all these people, makes me cry. It made me cry. All these people coming to help.
For Allah, a civil engineer back in Iraq, Iskashita has helped him form those relationships that most take for granted.
Before, I have many friends from all the world, and now I start to find a new friend.
Proving that harvesting can also unite cultures. 95% of the fruit and vegetables collected are given to families in need. The other 5% is sold or used for food preparation. Live in the broadcast center, Mackenzie Scott, Cronkite News.
With the major drought in California, here in Arizona, we too could be affected if the water level at Lake Mead keeps declining. Cronkite News reporter Sonny Scott explains how Arizona agriculture could be the first to be affected.
Under a multi-state agreement, Colorado River users will now save water and put their portion back into Lake Mead to raise the lake's level. Looking over his 5,000-acre farm in Pinal County, Dan Thierlander is concerned about the future of his farm, with the Central Arizona Project declaring a state-one shortage declaration due to the water levels of Lake Mead.
Our district, along with other districts in Central Arizona, have agreed to cut back on their purchase of CAP water.
The current shortage in Central Arizona comes from a potential call next year on the Colorado River, affecting those most in agriculture.
The Central Arizona farmers, non-reservation farmers, would be the first to suffer.
SIG suggests farmers should change their operations when watering their farms.
Change my crop mixes to something that will still produce a desired profit, and I can use less water, or I can use my water more efficiently.
If a water shortage was to impact the state, it would mean Arizona agriculture wouldn't be as financially viable, and farmers may get out of the business or move somewhere else.
Less people involved in agriculture, and that operation going away.
Thelander does have a plan in place for a shortage, but will have to cut back on the acreage of farming he does.
Not only will affect the farmers, it will be fewer farm workers needed, fewer tractors and seeds and fertilizers bought from the local community.
That will not only impact the local economy, but could raise produce prices as well. He hopes the Arizona farmers being efficient now will forestall the shortage, allowing them to get their full allocation of water from the Colorado that supplies 40% of water statewide. CAP says the Colorado River water shortage may occur in 2017, but that does not mean Arizona is in crisis mode. Be sure to watch Arizona Horizon right after Cronkite News for the impacts of the shortage. Sonny Scott, Cronkite News.
The Arizona Department of Environmental Quality has new plans to reward people and companies who are friendly to the environment. Cronkite News reporter Katrina Arroyos toured one facility holding a platinum ranking within ADEQ's new plan.
From the street view of the Ocotillo power plant in Tempe, residents can see different pipes and wires bringing them their electricity. On the inside, Charles Bell and the rest of his team are creating an environmentally friendly power plant.
The plant used to be able to burn fuel oil as well as natural gas. We got rid of the capability of burning fuel oil. We only burn natural gas here now because it is a much cleaner and environmentally friendly fuel.
The Ocotillo power plant burns natural gas, and that provides the company with a ranking of platinum certification. It's granted through the Voluntary Environmental Stewardship Program with the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality.
So a platinum level member would have a really mature and robust EMS in place that will then allow them to set more aggressive goals, really above and beyond compliance moving forward.
Every day at the plant, steam released by the burning of natural gas is condensed into water and tested to track how clean the particles are.
We will continue to do the things that we need to do to provide, once again, reliable and affordable energy for Arizona.
Looking forward, the Ocotillo power plant will continue to use the Voluntary Environmental Stewardship Program to rank environmental aspects and set priorities toward which ones they should overcome. In Tempe, I'm Katrina Arroyos, Cronkite News.
Although the Ocotillo power plant is a big company through APS, the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality offers recognition to individuals and small businesses alike. Anyone can apply online to the Voluntary Environmental Stewardship Program through azdeq.gov. And things are heating up quickly in the valley. Friday could be the first day this year that hits 100 degrees. Brooke, can we expect the weather to heat up even more?
Thanks, Maria. Today's been a beautiful day here in the valley. Right now we're sitting at a warm 94 degrees with mostly sunny skies and just a few clouds out there overhead. Now, just to put in perspective, the temperature might feel hot today, but we're around that average of 89. And luckily, we're nowhere near that high of 105. Now, let's take a look in and around the valley. As you can see, we have Mesa over here at 93 degrees, Scottsdale at 91, and over here in Goodyear at 93 degrees as well. Let's take a broader look across the state to see where we are. We're in that 70 to 100 degree temperature range. Up north at the Grand Canyon, 71 degrees, 77 in Prescott. Yuma's already hit the big 100, and then down in Yuma, 80 degrees right now. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast to see when we'll hit that 100 degree mark. Tomorrow we're gonna hit 99 degrees, and then Friday is our big 100 day, so it's gonna get hot. And then we're gonna cool off with a 10% chance of rain on Saturday through Monday, where we're going to drop down to 91 degrees. So it is going to be a great week to be outdoors by a pool or a lake. But if you can't be by some water, I'd recommend staying inside by the air conditioning. For Cronkite Weather, I'm Brooke Wazowitz.
Cronkite News is proud to join the Arizona PBS News Block here on 8HD.
Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on Arizona Horizon and PBS NewsHour.
Coming up after Cronkite News, it's Arizona Horizon. We'll take a look at why Arizona's water supplies are in better shape than California's, and we'll hear about a new initiative to help local businesses. That's next on Arizona Horizon.
I'm Judy Woodruff. On the next NewsHour, I sit down with Michelle Roberts, the first woman to lead Pro Basketball's Players Association. That's Wednesday on the PBS NewsHour.
It's all about collaboration. The initiative Phoenix Forward officially launched today to combine the Arizona Commerce Authority, the City of Phoenix, and Maricopa County. The idea is about supporting Arizona's current local businesses, as well as finding ways to expand and grow them here in our state. The City of Phoenix has always had a platform of supporting local businesses, but Phoenix Mayor Greg Stanton says this new initiative is about using all of the city's assets to build up the economic growth and development.
Businesses expect you to operate as teammates. So this is what the marketplace is demanding, and we are responding to that competitive marketplace.
Public transportation in Phoenix has now gotten easier with the development of a new transit app for the newly released Apple Watch. Cronkite News reporter Brenda Carrasco spoke to the students at ASU who helped both design and develop the app. Brenda?
Maria, students at the Cronkite School Media and Innovation Lab worked all semester to complete the On Time Phoenix app in conjunction with the release of the newly released Apple Watch. The app was designed to simplify light rail users' commute by displaying real-time information. Users of the app will see the arrival of the next light rail train, saving them from having to wait outside at the light rail platform. With the help of staff, students designed the app from concept to finish.
What we want to do is find the right balance between something that is clear versus something that is very clean and minimalistic. So that was one of the big things that we wanted to convey in the app.
Although the app was designed primarily for the Apple Watch, it's also available for iPhone users in the app market. Live in the control room, Brenda Carrasco, Cronkite News.
That will be my next download on my iPhone.
I totally want an Apple Watch. Like, everyone always is like, oh, Apple makes too many things. Like, I will wear that watch every day instead of my own.
Oh, I can guarantee that. And that is it for Cronkite News tonight.
Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Find top Arizona stories anytime at CronkiteNewsOnline.com.
Access Across Arizona allows us to travel to the 15 different counties in Arizona and find new, fresh voices and underreported stories.
It's been a great opportunity to travel to places we haven't been to before and talk to people we haven't heard from until now.
With our new technology, we're now able to deliver stories directly to you from across Arizona.
Live in Mojave County, reporting live from Prescott,
live in Parker, Arizona.
Cronkite News brings you Access Across Arizona.